how to repair bad credit. So I'm gonna give you an ultimate guide for the most part as it relates to strategies, tips, and success stories on how you can go about repairing bad credit. You see, what you got to understand first and foremost about credit is that it affects a lot of different areas of your life. A lot of people look at your credit before they hire you, before they give you a loan or give you a credit card or give you access to more capital. They want to see what your credibility is. And if you understand that, then you can take matters into your own hand and say, you know what, if these are the points that they're looking for, these are the things that they're looking for, let me make sure that when they look for these things, I'm in position. Let me make sure that I'm capable of maintaining the certain data points that are necessary in order to position myself to get whatever I need in terms of leveraging my credit. Now, there are some things that are coming down the pipeline that position you to do things without leveraging credit. However, in the meantime, since that credit model does affect a great deal of our lives, why not take advantage of it and understand how to do it? And hopefully in this video, you get some insight from me directly on how you can do it. And this is coming from someone who owns a credit restoration company, but I give out free game and value on a regular basis to make sure that people have access to information that they may not typically have access to, so they can take it, leverage it, do something with it, and get a great result. And if you like the free information, then you'll definitely love anything else that I have to offer that can help you take your credit, cash flow, and net worth to the next level. So let's dive in. Number one thing I want you to make sure you understand is the reports versus the scores. And I got my bullet points here because I don't want to leave anything out. You got to understand the reports versus the scores. So first thing first, you're going to do is pull your report. Now that you have your report in front of you, a lot of people don't understand what they're looking at. They see the scores, they see the items. When creditors look at it, they're looking at two different things. They see the score, but they also look at the report. So the score is just the number. You know, when they search your intelligence, you know what the score is. But the report is the breakdown of everything that's on it. Now, it's different between you having a good credit score and a good credit profile or a good credit report. What's the difference between the two? The score represents the overall how everything was calculated. So you definitely want to have a good score. But you also want to have a quality report, meaning what items are on your report that's affecting negatively or positively your overall scores and profile. And this is why it's important to understand all five factors, because they're going to look at your score, but they're going to look at your payment history. Okay, how many on-time payments did they have in comparison to how many late payments they had? That's a part of your report that's calculated as 35% of your score, up to 192.5 points come from that alone. They're going to look at your credit utilization. If you have credit cards, how high are your balances? Are you keeping a low balance? Are you maxing out the card? Is your balances less than 10%? They're going to look at these things and determine, okay, this is 30% of the score. Let me give them up to 165 points based on how it's viewed on your report. How does your credit history look in terms of the age of your credit? They're going to look at that and say, okay, are they new to using credit, or have they been using it for a while? And then they're going to grade you and rate you on that. How's your credit mixture? Like, do you have a combination of things, or are you a one-trick pony? Do you just have one item on there that's reflecting on your score, or are you responsible with credit cards, installment loans, credit builder loans? Are you responsible in these areas as well? If the answer is yes, you get high points. So you got to understand these things, and then they want to say, okay, are you applying for so many different items to where your inquiries are high because you're trying to get a lot of new credit? They're going to look at these things and they're going to say, okay, how has their past 1 year been? How has their past 2 years been? And then they're going to give you a rating. So knowing how credit scores look is one thing, but knowing how to report works is another thing, and you want to have both. That's why when I talk to clients or students, I'm like, hey, you want to understand both, so you can benefit from both, because they're looking at both. Next thing, I want you to understand that when you're looking at your report, you need to know how to identify the negatives or errors that are on your report, because just because it's on your report doesn't mean it belongs on your report. What do I mean? You see, they make mistakes as well. They have data entry people, or who are putting in data, but they make mistakes. They have people who make errors. So if it's errors being made, then it's a good chance it's an error on your report. To be honest with you, it's millions of people who have errors on their report, and millions of people who still have errors on their report that's affecting their score. In many cases, your score is supposed to be higher than what it currently is. And not only is people making errors, sometimes the system that they're pulling data from, have made errors as well. So you got to be able to recognize, okay, is this balance is correct? Is this last activity date incorrect? Is this payment date correct? Did they say I did something that I did not do? Is my name correct? See, these are things that you want to look at because it increases your chances of getting removed if you dispute it, which we recommend disputing certain things to enhance your credit report. So you got to be able to know what errors are taking place, how do I correct these errors, and make sure that my profile is getting better over time. Give yourself some time. It didn't get like that overnight, so don't expect credit results overnight. And anybody who's telling you that, then they're lying to you. You want to make sure you have a quality profile, and that takes quality time. So make sure you understand what errors are there, what's affecting your score negatively, and the profile will tell you, okay, this is affecting your score, this is negative, and now you need to know what to do in order to reverse it. And if it's negative payment history or collections or charge off, then you need to dispute it using letters. That's the solution to that. If you look at the credit utilization and see that your cards are maxed out, now you need to say, okay, I need to pay my balances down below 10%. Set a goal, pace yourself, pay it down to 0%, pace yourself, because that's the maximum or that position you to get the max amount of points. One of our students, Angela Sam, she's been applying the strategy of lowering her credit utilization for some time. Now, not only does she have 800 plus credit, her husband has 800 plus credit because he's been following the same blueprint. Her kids have 700, 750 plus credit, and they're like 18 years old. Her mom went from like the 400 or 500s, and now her mom is like at a 694 credit score because she's using everything that I'm teaching you right now and applying it into her life and into her family life, and getting great results as a result. So just understand the importance of what you need to do in order to maintain and keep good credit. Next thing on the list, you want to make sure that you have a plan. Like, what's your plan in order to restore your credit? See, once you pull your report, now what's your plan? If you understand the importance of credit utilization and keeping a low balance, say you're maxed out. Say you got a credit card that's $20,000 and you are fully maxed out. Okay, what's my plan to get that $20,000 balance down? What can I do? We teach a strategy known as income shifting that's been helping people pay their credit cards down fast because it's showing people where they're leaving money on the table. They get an extra $200 to $800 back in their household. Now they're able to pay the credit cards down faster. That's having a plan, a blueprint, knowing their debt freedom day. If you don't have that plan, then I highly recommend you check out the link I have available in the comments because it can give you that plan so you can be on track to increasing your net worth every 30 days, which also includes increasing your credit score. Just keep that in mind. But do you have a plan? Come up with a plan that works for you. We have a plan that works for our people, and then you're welcome to use it. But you need to have a plan in order to execute step by step on how you're going to get that goal accomplished. Now, here's some DIY strategies that you can think of. Now, our system is a DIY. We got a DIY system that shows you how to do everything where it's no guesswork. You're watching the videos, get access to all of the dispute letters, everything you need. That's the one I highly recommend. But mentally, you need to understand what's some things that you can do yourself, because it's only a certain amount of things that somebody else can do for you. The rest is on you. You have to be the one that's making on-time payments. You have to be the one that's making sure you're keeping your utilization low. You have to be the one that's not applying for too many items and that's clouding up your credit report. So those are just some simple strategies that you can take, knowing to keep the balance down, not applying for certain things, and paying bills on time. You also need to know when the credit card companies are reporting to the bureaus, also known as the statement date. Once you know the statement date, now you can say, okay, I'm gonna pay it by the due date, but I'm also gonna make sure that I have my balance as low as possible when that statement date comes. So now when they report it to the bureaus, it positions me to get a credit boost off of that alone. Make sure you understand it. Then understanding that just because it's on your report doesn't mean they have to stay on your report. So if you have some late payments, consider sending a goodwill letter to the creditor. So if you had a bank and had some late payments with that bank, consider sending them a goodwill letter that says, hey, these were the situations that I fell on. This was the circumstance I was faced with. As a result, I had a late payment. Please consider removing it because I want to keep our relationship tight. And basically, that's what the goodwill letter is saying. Now, once that goodwill letter says that, in some cases, the creditor will say, you know what, let's go ahead and remove that late payment and boost your score as well. So those are some things to consider. Then you might want to consider even building new credit, because sometimes it's not just you doing these things. It might be time for you to get some new accounts on your profile to help strengthen your score as well. So you need to know where you are, and that's the importance of understanding all the 5 factors that I broke down earlier, so that way you know what your profile is missing. What is it lacking? Or does it have all of the pieces together? You just got to fine tune and make sure you do your part in the other areas. Keep that in mind. Next up, when it's time to seek pro help from a professional. I own a credit restoration company, and say you don't want to use me, then make sure you vet the person. Make sure that they're showing success stories of other people. Make sure that they're educating you and giving you free game, so that when you hire them, You're not dependent on them forever. See, the worst thing to do is to hire a professional but not know how to maintain your credit for yourself. So hopefully you're getting some education upon speaking with them or asking questions that can position you to go further even when you're done working with them. So when you're seeking a professional, make sure you keep those things intact. If you're interested in seeking our services because you don't want to fix your own credit yourself, then you can set up a consultation. We can hop on the call. If it's a good fit, then we'll allow you to be a part of our program. But if not, if it's not a good fit, or if we don't feel like we can assist you, then we won't even accept you as a client. And we don't like to take any and everybody. We want the people who are serious about bettering their credit. So set up a consultation. That link should be available as well. Set up a consultation so you can see about getting your credit where you want it using some professional help. Next up, you got to understand when it comes to your credit, you have to make sure that you're doing the necessary things on a monthly basis to see progress. Otherwise, you'll give up and lose hope. If you're not doing your part every 30 days, you're not going to see certain results. So you got to make sure that you're doing your part as well, so that way you don't give up and tap out. And make sure that you understand that you give yourself at least 6 months. Give yourself at least 6 months in order to, see any progress. Don't get me wrong, you'll start seeing progress every 30 days, but give yourself 6 months, because so many times people have been messing up their credit for 6 years and they want to get fast results in 6 weeks. That's not how it works. It's possible to get a fast boost, but in many cases, it's going to require you to have some time invested in it in order for you to get the maximum that you can get out of restoring your credit. All right, now, I've already covered up ways that you can monitor your credit or maintaining your credit by making sure that you make on-time payments and, keeping that utilization low. The next thing is up for you to make a decision. What is it that you want to do in order to restore your credit? Do you want to do it yourself? Great. Do you want to Google it and figure it all out? Great. Do you want to use our DIY system? Great. If you want to set up a consultation with us, great. If you want to find somebody else and set up a consultation with them, great. Whatever it is, but you have to take action, because the last thing you want to do is push it off, procrastinate, and then a year's passed, 6 months has passed, and your credit is in the exact same place, all because you didn't take action when you had the opportunity. Don't let that be you. Take action. Click the available link in our comments so you can get on track to either one of the things that we have available to you. We help people fix it themselves using our system. You can set up a consultation with us, and then we even position people to start their own credit restoration business. Got a credit restoration company. I also have a credit restoration educational platform that shows people how to become credit specialists. So either way, I can help you, and I look forward to helping you. Share this with somebody who you feel may benefit. Mr. Smith signing out. So